Xavier Lee had to navigate several make-it-or-break-it moments in his life en route to setting historical records in college and achieving his lifelong dreams. Life-changing moment. There came a time in his life when he either had to go all in or give up on his dream. When the pandemic hit Toronto in March 2020, he was faced with one of the hardest decisions of his life. He had two choices: either take the easy route, which meant staying inside and socializing through video games and social media like most kids his age, or chase his dream of becoming an NCAA basketball player despite the roadblocks that were put in place. Xavier picked basketball. The decision would change his life. But things wouldn't be so easy. According to his mom, he had to think outside of the box in order to get his reps in. He had to be creative, he had to be innovative, but he also had to have the drive and the passion to want to do that in spite of his circumstances. Being an outsider looking in on his drive to want to still get better, even though the circumstances weren't such that he could necessarily get better, I think that really was eye-opening. The strict restrictions and regulations in Ontario canceled Xavier's entire junior season of high school and club sports, discouraged people from socializing with anybody outside of their household, and even limited outdoor physical activity at certain times. Many kids dropped out of sports entirely. Xavier and his trainer, Philippe Music, were forced to drive throughout the Greater Toronto area to find underground gyms, often made of converted warehouses with such low ceilings that he couldn't even take regular three-pointers. The workouts were not ideal, but they kept him sane, and more than that, they helped him fall in love with basketball. He felt as if his love for the game kept growing the more obstacles he had to overcome. He began to enjoy the process and fell in love with training, lifting, and everything else that goes into becoming a world-class player. He also matured and realized the value of pushing through difficult times. These lessons would pay off during his legendary college run, but before that, Xavier had another obstacle to overcome: basketball obsession. There didn't seem to be a path toward his dreams. He grew up in a household that prioritized academics, but he saw a different life for himself. From an early age, he was encouraged by his parents to play multiple sports. He was a shortstop and second baseman on the diamond in high school, and on top of that, his mom also encouraged him to use both hands. My mom, as long as I could remember, made me do everything with my left hand. Eat with my left, brush my teeth with my left, I even hold my phone on my left hand. She told me, "You've got to use both hands for basketball." However, it would be basketball that ultimately stole his heart. He grew up a die-hard Raptors fan who idolized Fred VanVleet, but he was always short and skinny for his age, measuring only 5'7" as a high school freshman. In March of 2017, when Xavier was 13 years old, his family made the 2-hour drive from his native Toronto to Buffalo, New York, to watch his first ever March Madness game. It turned out to be an amazing game between Notre Dame and Princeton. This ignited his passion for ball even more, and he was determined to make his dreams come true. However, passion isn't always enough. Even though he was one of the best players in the CISAA for Crescent High School in Toronto and a standout in the EYBL for CIA Bounce AAU, he was not receiving much interest from Division I schools by the start of his junior year. And he knew that he needed to change something, to do something much different if he wanted to achieve his dreams. In the summer of 2021, he made a decision that changed his life forever. Basketball journey. Now, everyone needs a little luck in their life, and for Xavier, that luck came in the form of Cordell Llewellyn. The father of one of Lee's AAU teammates, former basketball player Cordell Llewellyn, contacted the recruiting coordinator and associate head coach at Princeton, Brett McConnell, recommending that he take a look at Lee. When the pandemic slowed down in the summer of 2021, in between his junior and senior years of high school, he went to the United States with his high school and AAU teams, and Princeton scouts ended up coming to see him play. They were blown away by him, and the Princeton head coach made it his mission to recruit him. According to the coach, Xavier had everything they were looking for. It was as if they had struck gold. Hopefully, they thanked Cordell Llewellyn properly. But the transition to life as an Ivy League student athlete wasn't easy for Xavier. Despite spending his senior year of high school at Perkiomen Prep School outside of Philadelphia, the combination of moving to the States, playing against kids several years older and stronger than him, learning a new system, and majoring in economics was overwhelming for him. In my household, academics have been something that's always been a priority. I feel like doing well in school is kind of a first thing, and then extracurriculars and doing well in sports is second. Despite some of the obstacles he faced in his rookie season, he was a regular in the Tigers' rotation from day one. He played in all 32 games and hit a few big shots in their surprising run to the Sweet 16, but he averaged just 13 minutes a game and struggled on the defensive end of the floor, where the physicality of bigger players was a challenge for the smaller him. This also meant that he knew exactly what he had to work on, improving his time management and consistency on and off the court. In the summer, he honed his strength in the workout room and his jump shot through countless hours in the gym. It was his dedication to the gym that led to his breakthrough, because no matter how talented you are, hard work always beats talent. One decision that changed his life was playing international basketball for the first time as a member of Team Canada at the Under-19 World Cup in Turkey. He had never been invited to Team Canada training camp before, so he had no idea if he would be good enough to play. He didn't just make the team, he went on to become their leading scorer and assist getter for a 7th place Canadian team. He turned a lot of heads in Turkey after averaging 14.1 points and 3.1 assists on 48, 36, 78 shooting, showcasing his creativity and bucket-getting ability against international competition with way more experience. Now, this experience carried on to his second year, where Xavier did something truly historic: college highlights. Xavier went from a bench player to a Princeton legend. During his first year at Princeton, his profile remained low. The team was led by now NBA player Tosin Mbamwan and Ryan Langborg, who exploded during the team's March Madness run and then transferred to Northwestern for his 5th year of eligibility. Now, despite Xavier's comfort on the court, he received little opportunity for playing time. Backing up Langborg, then a senior point guard, he averaged playing just over 13 minutes and fewer than 5 points per game on efficient shooting. Fine for a freshman, but nowhere near enough to showcase his potential. During the team's March Madness run, which saw rotations tighten, he played 9 minutes across 3 games. He was only able to muster a single point. The following year, despite losing 3 of their starters, including their 2 best players, the team had momentum to build from the previous year. This resulted in a legendary start for Princeton. Before losing their 10th game, Princeton's 9-0 start was the best in program history. Xavier was the guy who led Princeton to a historic start, as he averaged a team-high 18.1 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 3.6 assists on 49, 84, 40 shooting splits as a sophomore during that run. In the conference opener against Harvard, he scored a career-high 33 points, in addition to 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals, being named Conference Player of the Week for his performance. His incredible play also amassed him a following of over 60,000 on Instagram. But unfortunately for Xavier, he wasn't able to capitalize on his popularity and sign a lucrative NIL deal because he is from Canada. Despite that, it is clear that he has the it factor and will soon enough sign several deals as he sets his sights on the NBA. On April 5th, 2024, he declared for the 2024 NBA Draft, finally fulfilling his lifelong dream.